Hey, we're the Flick Chicks. I'm Anne.
And I'm Monica, and this is the podcast where we are kids at heart, even though animated movies are not technically for kids, but...
No, they are not.
You know what? We all know that they're geared technically towards children, but totally fine with that.
But they're amazing.
Of course they are.
They're great. Yes. So we're going to be talking about the best animated movies of all time. Which
this one was
like the hardest.
Literally, I don't think I've done so much research for an episode before.
Me neither. I kid you not, I changed my rankings till the last second.
Oh, I was literally changing my rankings this morning a little bit because I'm like,
yes,
like I just kicked someone out and added a new one because I'm like, I can't.
Yes,
but this
same
is hard.
because it's like I rewatched something this morning and I was like, I forgot how like amazing. I guess that's the hardest part is like you have to decipher if this is you being nostalgic or if this is like actually a good movie, or some things you forget how good they were.
Or you need to like accept the fact that just because it's not in your top 5 doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
Exactly.
Like I had to like come to terms with that. I'm like, but no, this movie's so good. But I'm like, okay, but that doesn't mean it has to be my top 5.
Exactly.
You know?
And I think the biggest thing we want to differentiate with our audience and ourselves too is these are the best animated movies. It's not our favorite animated movies. Like it's not like, oh, I would watch this one over and over again. I mean, it might be a factor, obviously.
Like, yeah, I factored that in, but I tried to be as objective as possible.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of Disney movies I rewatch over again. Like, for example, this is not a spoiler. Mulan 2, I watch it all the time. Is it a good movie, though?
Yeah,
no,
I was looking at one, like, this. I'm not trying to spoil my ranking either, but I was looking at, like I finished my ranking everything, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot Happy Feet, because it's, like, my favorite one. But then I'm like, oh, but is it the best one?
Yeah, I know.
Probably not.
Happy Feet is so good, though. I totally forgot. It is our intro.
It's great. I love it. Exactly. I love it. But I'm like, okay, like, we just pause for a second. Let me think. Is it really the best?
I know.
No.
We really... It's basically, guys, it pained me to do this list. It pained all of us.
It was I didn't think it was going to be that painful for me, but it's painful. Like, it was even painful coming up with my honorable mentions.
Yes.
Like, I had too many.
It
so
was
I'm like,
so
I need
bad.
to narrow it down.
Yeah, we really do.
Okay. Anyway, so do you want to... Yeah, Anne's going to talk about... with the criteria, because this is not just throwing movies out. We had specific.
We're being serious about this. The Flick Chicks
system.
We want you guys to believe in the Flick Chicks when we pick stuff. We want y'all to be
like we want you to see
serious.
where we're getting this is like where we're getting our opinions from, and I'll just pulling it out of the
air.
So
for each movie, let's say we looked at about 10 movies properly. We properly graded, if you will, 10 movies minimum or whatever, and we based it on 6 criterias. So the first one being emotion or emotional. So like, how emotional is the movie? How much does it pull at your heartstrings? On a scale from 1 to 10, we rated it.
And nostalgia
points are included in that. The story and plot is the second criteria. So if the plot or story is actually good, that's a scale from 1 to 10. Yep. Visuals. So like, how good is the animation, or did it bring something new to the genre or change the game in terms of animation? So that would get it extra points in visuals from 1 to 10. Characters. So like, how relatable, how good, how awesome are the characters? How believable are they? Because that's pretty hard sometimes. On a scale of 1 to 10. Soundtrack. Is the soundtrack good? Like, bruh, that's it. From a scale of 1 to 10.
That's important. And if there's no, like, obviously songs and, like, score.
Sorry. Soundtrack includes score, songs, musicals, whatever. It doesn't have to be... Is it memorable? I think that's the biggest thing. If you don't remember the songs, probably the soundtrack wasn't that, good. And last criteria, the 6th criteria, is rewatchability. So how rewatchable is this movie? Like, would you keep watching it?
Right. Because me and I kind of disagree on this, but I believe that like a good movie has to be one that you can watch multiple times. If you can't watch it more than once the whole way through and thoroughly enjoy it the second time, maybe it's not as good as a movie.
I agree that it does.
Because you should be able to sit through it again. Like you should be excited and discover new things about it the second time you watch it, that kind of thing. That's like what really
I think that's what makes it a great movie. I don't think it's what makes it a good, for me, that's where we differ. Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah. That's totally I don't think it makes it a great. Like I think that's what makes it like truly a
if
great
you can
movie,
rewatch.
If you can watch
obviously,
it a bunch of times
my
over.
favorite movies are the movies that I can rewatch. But there are other movies that I know are good, but I don't necessarily.
Like you're okay.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a movie to watch once.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna be both naming our top 5. We're just gonna be from the fifth to the first. So I guess I'll name my 5th place, and then you'll name your 5th place. I think. All right.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll alternate until we get to each of
and
our
I'll
number
reveal the
ones.
score. So just to recap.
I don't like. Yeah, we don't have to talk about
No.
each and every score that we gave, but maybe just
Yes,
if there were
yeah,
any noticeable
Yeah.
trends in
Or
the
where
score,
it got,
like
maybe
if
where it
one
got a
particular
10.
area got
yeah,
a really low score.
So,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, where it got 10s, where it got
Yeah.
a particularly low
Yep.
score, that kind of thing. So let's just
Mhm.
hop right into
So
it.
I'm going to start.
Wow, I'm ready. I feel like I hope we haven't even revealed
No.
I don't know Anne's top 5. She doesn't know mine. We have like a couple that we were talking about, but we still don't know.
No,
whether
we
they
haven't.
made our
We
top
kind of just like
5.
basically threw at each other like you have to watch these movies, but we didn't say if they're like up there or where they are. They could be in our honorable mentions for
so
all this. Yeah, but
I'm like excited. Yeah, I'm excited because I feel like you maybe might be surprised by
Maybe.
some of mine.
I don't know. But
Like some of mine that didn't make the cut. Some of
true.
mine maybe did make the cut.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
so my number 5
I'm ready.
is, and this number 5 was like the hardest to do because it's like, yeah,
Okay, before we start, let me just say something. I had to take some artistic liberty with my rankings because if we're going based off score, I have a clear number 1, a clear number 2, and then a 6-way tie.
Are
for
you
number
kidding?
3, 4,
We're the
5.
same person. We're the same
So I had
person,
to
literally.
take some- I had to take some liberties.
I did.
with my
I
ranking,
just had to,
and like,
that's why I kept switching them because I was like,
yeah, because literally, if you're looking at, I'm looking at my
Mhm.
scores right now, and I have like 6 movies that
Yes.
have the same score, and it's all the
Facts.
third best
Okay.
score.
So yes,
yeah.
my 5th
Anyways, go
movie with a score of 54, which tends to be the trend. 54,
Whoa, that's
yeah,
high.
out of 60, because it's 1 out of 10, out of everything,
yeah.
is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That is my 5th place.
Ooh,
It
interesting.
notably,
Okay.
I'm just gonna give the highlights of. I got a lot of points for its soundtrack. I thought it was really cool.
I
yeah.
was
The plot of the story itself and the visuals. It was like the first movie that did it that way.
The visuals
you know,
is
so
it was you can't look it over in terms of visuals. Like even if it's not in your personal top 5, you have to give it the visuals.
Yes.
Like there's no other movie.
yeah,
like
100%.
that.
Yeah, like my little brother hasn't seen the movie, but I mentioned it and he was like, "Oh yeah, like I saw the animation, looked really cool." Like he hasn't
it's
even seen it,
super,
but
like,
he saw the trailer.
Interesting,
and
and
yeah.
I'm ready for like more movies to
Mhm.
be not exactly like that, but different types of animation.
And person of color as the main character, y'all know it's gonna, it has to come through. Come on now. Okay, so that's my number 5. You can go, Monica.
Okay, so my number 5, and this one was really hard because I kind of knew which ones were going to be my 3, 4, or whatever, but the number 5 was difficult.
Yeah, the
But
lower
I
ones
think,
are the hardest.
I think I'm okay with this because I just
Mm.
can't not have it in my top 5.
Yep.
And it's Shrek 2.
Oh my gosh, what?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Shrek 2 specifically, not the first one, the second one, because we all know the
Mm.
second one's better than the first one. So
You should have made me rewatch this. I'm gonna have to read the synopsis.
Oh shoot!
in
Yeah,
a
I didn't.
sec.
I literally added it this morning, so that's why.
Oh, I see.
Like it was
Okay.
in my list of contenders, and then
Mhm.
I didn't want to actually score it because I was worried that it was gonna be really high. Oh, and it
Yeah.
has a score 51. And I have like 6
For
movies
you,
that are
yeah.
score 51, so that's
Okay.
my issue.
Mhm.
So it got really high points for the soundtrack. Hello,
Yeah.
the songs in there were iconic. And the characters, like that, you just like, come on, like Shrek, Donkey, Puss in Boots, like Fiona, everyone, like those are so like such iconic
Yes.
characters.
Was Puss in Boots in the first movie? No.
No,
This is when
he
he
was
gets introduced, right?
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, so
okay.
they really took the original movie, which is good in my opinion, but I love the second one. It got lower points, I think, for visuals and emotion, just because it's like, you know, it's not really that kind of movie, but the plot got high points too. Like, I just love that movie, man. It's just really good. And rewatchability was super high because I've watched it so many times and it just never gets old. It's honestly one of those animated movies that's more, I feel like, for older audiences than
I feel like
actually
Shrek is that. Yeah.
there's so many like jokes that you wouldn't get as a kid. So as you get older and you rewatch it, it just gets funnier each time. And I just love it. I had to. I couldn't not have a Shrek movie on there. Like it's just good. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
good.
good.
That's good. Okay, number 4 for me is drumroll. I should have done drumroll for you. I'm so sorry. Zootopia. Whoa,
Okay.
whoa.
Yep. I'm not surprised.
Zootopia also got a score of 54. So it got notably high scores in story and plot. I thought that was its strongest point. Like amazing plot. the visuals, I gave a lot of points because they did a lot of real world things that we have, but for animals. So I thought that was really clever in terms of like how they animated, you know, like, I don't know, iPhones for like animals. I just thought that was really cool. It lost points, especially in soundtrack, because I can't except for the, what is it,
that one
Try Everything
song? Yeah,
is the only song that, you know, was catchy, but it didn't really, I don't think it utilized music really to its advantage as it could have. I think it could have done a little bit better in that area. But Zootopia was groundbreaking. I loved it. Really glad it won the Oscar. It definitely deserved it. So that's how I feel about that one.
Yeah, I actually scored Zootopia because it was one of my contenders. And it's pretty much the same. Like, I lost points for soundtrack. I lost points for rewatchability too, just because for me,
me too.
I haven't watched it that often. But yeah, no, it's a good movie.
No, yeah, it's one of the lower ones on my rewatchability, I will say. Yes.
All right, so my number 4, drum roll please, is Into the Spider-Verse. I have it on my top 5 too. So I put it at number 4, slightly above Shrek 2, even though I've watched it way less than I have Shrek 2. And like, if I'm going off my personal like opinion, I just love Shrek 2, but I'm like, I had to put it above just simply for A, the soundtrack, and B, the visuals. Like, I think you can't dismiss the visuals. Like, that is just like, it's so new and like it's so perfect for that movie. And also I got pretty high points for the characters. I love the like different spider people, like the little like different spider, what are they called, the universe,
Spider-Verse people,
the different the different people from the different Spider-Verses, the main like Peter Parker dude. And yeah, so that's my number 4.
What was the score for it? Sorry.
Oh, also 51. So it tied with Shrek in score, but I had to put it slightly above just because of the visuals. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a classic, even though it's like a newer movie.
I definitely think it is gonna be. It's gonna be the Cars of movies. Like, little boys will rewatch it over and over again. That's the impression I'm getting.
I don't even think I think like adults are gonna be.
Adults too, but I can see little kids just
like I can see adults like showing it to their kids and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay, my number 3. Are you ready? Coco. Wow. Coco received a score of 54 also. Yep. There's a big trend.
I'm telling you, all of mine got 51 except for the top 2.
So Coco won amazing points. I gave them like such a high score for soundtrack because on top of that, it took a big risk by making their soundtrack only half English, really, if you think about it. Some of it was not even English, and I felt like that was such a risk, but it just to immerse people in a different culture, because you know people are really resistant to that a lot of the times. Like, they're like, oh, I don't want to watch this movie because I don't whatever, but they managed to stick to the culture. They really didn't deviate from it at all to me. And that was beautiful.
Like, I felt touched by it, even though I'm not, you know, Latin American or Hispanic.
Yeah. And it was like, they did a lot for the Mexican culture in terms of the movie. They did their research clearly. And I gave it really high scores for emotion because that movie.
Oh, yeah. Bruh, I mean, for the record, I also scored Coco. It was one of my contenders too. It got 10, like perfect 10 for emotion.
Yes.
But low, I don't know, I put it as low rewatchability, maybe because I haven't watched it that much.
No, same. It actually got one of the lowest scores in rewatchability out of all the ones I ranked.
It's super exciting to watch at first, but it's just like, it's good, it's great. It's just not one of those movies I would watch like a bunch of times over, I think. But
but it's because of its emotion and characters and soundtrack. It really brought it up. So I had to commend it for being such a good animated movie, and I didn't think I could lower it on the scale because of its it's not as rewatchable, but I still think it's like amazing. So that is my number 3, and off you go.
All right, so my number 3, with also a score of 51, clearly that's the trend, is drum roll please, Your Name.
Ooh.
Also known as, wait, what is it called again? Kimi
Kono no Nima.
Shut up.
Like
nope,
that.
that's wrong. That's so wrong. Kimi no Nawa. So it's my number 3. It's, if people probably, maybe it's one of the lesser known ones just because it's in Japanese. It's like an anime movie. For people that don't know, it's like just a story about this boy and this girl who switch bodies. Super complicated plot, but so it got perfect score amazing. For emotion, of course, story, plot, and visuals, because all of those were absolutely phenomenal. The emotion, especially, like I think it's my highest emotion. There's another one that has higher emotion, but like I literally like sat there after watching it and just like cried for like 10 minutes. Like it's not even like just sad, but it's just like super emotional, and like it just hits you. And the story is like amazing, especially like I'm not going to spoil anything, but like there's like this plot twist in the middle. It just like completely switches the whole feel of the movie.
It does. It makes you like,
you're like, what have I been watching? Yeah, exactly. Bruh. And the visuals are beautiful. I think in my opinion is the best traditional animated movie, like in terms of visuals, like hand drawn or whatever it's called.
Oh, it's like hand drawn animation.
Yeah, I think it's the best. It lost points for soundtrack just because I don't really remember any soundtrack from it, and it lost a little bit of points for rewatchability just because it's so sad, and every time I think about rewatching it I'm like, but do I want to be sad again? Like,
it's not like depressing, guys, like don't get that impression,
it's not like,
but it's like
it's just like super
it's
like
it's sad, like Coco, I would say, as in
you just
like
feel so emotional after watching it. But yeah, so that's
it's draining. It's draining.
Oh,
that's what I would say. Yeah,
but it's great. It's an amazing movie. I think everyone should
and
see
did it receive a score of 51 too?
Yes, so it got 51.
51 also.
So yeah, that's my number 3.
Yeah, honestly, I wish I had watched Your Name before, like just in general, because Monica made me watch it for.
I did, yeah. I'm like,
this thing.
I'm like, watch it. It's gonna be somewhere on my list, so you're gonna have to.
And
watch
it was like it's definitely now in my top 20 favorites of all time. Yeah. Like that's how good
for
it
Anne.
is.
Like Anne is very picky with her animated movies, so.
And I've seen a lot of them, you know. So
but
that one was really good.
It's amazing.
I loved it.
Just thinking about it is like, like
honestly, maybe we should do an entire episode about it, because like so. I feel like that would be so good.
More people need to like hear about it.
Yeah, because I have so many thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, so
for my number 2. Tangled. Whoa.
Oh yeah. See.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is my second favorite movie.
Wow.
That movie, and I stand by this. I will stand by this till the grave. That is the most romantic movie I've ever seen in my life.
Honestly,
always.
I can't disagree with that.
How could You Were My New Dream? Are you kidding? What am I supposed to do with that? It literally has set the bar too high for men. Oh my goodness. I just want a thief to come into my house and amazing. It got most of its points from characters. I thought the characters were the most like lovable ever. It got most of its points in perfect points in characters and rewatchability, and it got really high score in plot because I felt like it was very unique, and
I like what they did with Rapunzel's story.
Exactly. And I like that the magic was, she had magic, but it wasn't like, oh, like I'm a superhero. I feel like that's the natural way of doing it, but it was more like a burden to her. Like she was kind of like, like I have all this power, but I don't really, like I'm not able to live my life normally, which
like the story wasn't overpowered by her powers.
Exactly.
Overpowered. But yeah.
And it lost points in soundtrack, even though I love the soundtrack.
Excuse me?
I know. I love the soundtrack, but I can't acknowledge that it's not the catchiest ones out of, like, think of all the Disney songs. I don't know. You have to think about it. All the other movies, their soundtracks like shine through and that's it. But Tangled, its best song is probably, I mean, I love all of them.
Like I'm thinking, I know,
but it's
Mother Knows Best.
Mother Knows Best is so good.
Villain songs.
But it's just like
so
in
good.
the other movies, they just have such memorable songs, and I cannot like compare like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's where it lost points, but it's amazing. So it got a score of 55 out of 60. So that's pretty.
Honestly, I didn't score it. It wasn't really one of my contenders. I don't know why. I think it's mostly just I watched it a lot later
in life.
When I was a bit older, and
I watched it in theaters when it came out, and watching the lanterns in 3D. That was the only 3D movie I've seen that actually felt like it was worth the 3D.
Wow, that sounds really cool. Yeah, no, I think I just like, I feel like what I like about it is more just my personal taste, not just like objectively think it's good. Yeah, that kind of thing. Interesting. Okay, so my number 2 is
drum roll.
Inside Out.
Ooh.
Inside Out. Come on. So it is really literally. I'm actually forget what I just said. That'll spoil the rest of my list. But like emotion, story, characters, rewatchability, like absolutely perfect. The only places it lost points was visuals, just because like it was still good, but it's just nothing new, really. Nothing special. Like I wouldn't give it a 10 unless it was something new, like Spider-Verse or Your Name, that kind of thing. And soundtrack, just because like I don't know any songs from it, but everything else absolutely amazing. Every time I watch that movie I cry, no matter how many times, because I feel like every time you watch it, depending on like what your life, like what life stage you're at or what's going on in your life, you find some way to like relate to Riley in like a different way, if you know what I mean. Like it's like it hits you in a different way every time you watch it, depending on what's going on in your life. It's just like they really hit the nail on the head with this one. They did. Pixar. It was very good. It was such a great way of like illustrating the mind in a way that's like not super complicated, that's fun, but also like didn't gloss over any of the like hardships and stuff like that. And I just absolutely love it. I can rewatch it so many times. And it's great. The characters are great. Like Riley as a character, I feel like she wasn't made to be like overly annoying or like, it's just super realistic, you know. And her parents, I'm glad they didn't make her parents like super mean, because they tend to do that sometimes, where it's like if they want you to empathize with the kids so much that they make the parents like super rude. But the parents were like super understanding and like just regular, like exactly what you would expect from a situation like that. And the character, like how they personified the emotions, like that was really iconic in my opinion. And it had a score of 53 out of 60.
53. I see.
So that's my number 2. It's just they really did that.
I also scored Inside Out, but it lost points a lot for me in soundtrack, obviously, like you said.
Exactly.
And for me personally, it lost points in rewatchability. It did, because I just haven't watched it that many, as I haven't rewatched it as much as other animated movies, so it just like
I think it's like one of those where it's like you don't actively want to rewatch it. Like no one ever says like, I want to watch Inside Out right now, kind of thing. But when you do rewatch it, you're like, oh, this exactly. Is like I would really never be disappointed. It's like, you remember how good of a movie it is once. But I wouldn't go
out of my way. That's sense. Why I kind of got lower. Point. I
think I just put it higher on rewatchability because I just recently rewatched it like a couple like months ago, and I cried all over again, and I was like, I forgot.
No, I actually wish I had this movie because I changed school like four times, so I was like so relating to Riley.
And I've never changed schools before, but it's like I found my own ways to like relate to it.
So I wish I had that movie back then, because I feel like I would have really dealt with it better. Maybe opened up to my parents more, because she does that in the movie, and I did not do that for like the entire years I was moving. But I feel like it's an amazing movie.
No, it's really great.
Okay. We're going into our number 1.
Oh yeah, your number 1. I forgot you just said.
I already said my number 2, Tangled. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, my number 1.
I think I know what it's gonna be.
You should know what it's gonna be.
I think I know what it's.
The other ones hasn't been named yet. And it's not on my list.
I know what it
is. Okay, my number 1 is, drum roll please, How to Train Your Freaking Dragon. I literally wanted to play the soundtrack while I named this, but I figured that was not technically possible. But, I was ready. So, it's amazing. It got the highest score ever by a long shot. Almost perfect. It's a 57 for me, my guy. It's crazy. I love it. The emotion, 10. Story plot, 10. Soundtrack, 10. Bruh, this is the only movie that's not a... The soundtrack, it's the only movie that doesn't have... it's not a musical. Like, there's no like songs that I gave a perfect score, because I actually, and I think you would recognize it, maybe, I don't know, but I can't bet that on you. There's the most popular song in that movie is the Test Drive, which is the part where he's like learning to fly with like the whole hook thing, when he's like learning, and they use that song as the background music for when DreamWorks turned 30 years old, I think, or was like 40. They used that as the background. I actually cried Like I cried as if
God.
I was part of DreamWorks Animation, and I was like one of
You
the
built
people
that
who worked
company
there
from the ground up.
Yes, because the song was so like inspiring, and it's like and I own the
Yeah.
song on my phone, so I just love it. Rewatchability is a 10. YTV has showed that movie so many times, and every time I
Right.
would find myself sitting through the whole thing. So I love that movie with all
Yeah.
my heart. Okay, that's my number 1.
See, I didn't score it. Mostly just because I've only watched it once, and it was because Anne forced me to watch it.
Yep.
Not for any reason. Like, it's not bad or anything. It's just I think if I didn't watch it a long time ago, like I didn't have that attachment
Connection
to it. I guess. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything against it. I just
yeah.
it just didn't hit me like.
I think I know what your number 1 is too, but you
I
may
don't
go.
think you do. I feel like
Really?
you maybe. Like
Oh,
this one,
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe I might be wrong then.
Tell
Go
me,
on.
I don't want to ruin it though. Tell me what you think it is.
Now that you made me nervous now, but I was thinking it was Ratatouille, but you can go on and tell me what your number 1 is. So maybe
Okay,
I'm
so
wrong.
my number 1 is drumroll please. Nah.
Oh my gosh! No way. Really?
The Lion King.
Wow.
Yes.
Guess
I will
I'm
die
wrong.
on this hill. I will die on this hill.
Wow.
To this day,
Really?
there is no movie like Lion King is one of my favorite movies of all time. Period. Like objectively.
I
I don't watch it as much now,
Mhm.
but it's just always gonna be in my mind. Like anytime
Yes.
anyone brings up best movie, Lion King, like it's just there all the time.
Wow.
It's just like I think because it's been like play like it's such a part of our culture that people are
Yes.
like, nah, it's just like that movie. But when just look at the details. So
Mhm.
it got a score of 56, which is my
See.
highest one.
Yes.
Just look at the details. Literally emotion,
Mhm.
10. Characters, 10. Soundtrack, 10. Rewatchability, 10. Like show me one person who hasn't seen The Lion King at least twice. Like
I actually have a
Everyone's
friend
watched it a
who
million times.
watched it recently, and she said she didn't like it, and I was like, "What?"
well, you have to watch it from when you're a kid. Like if
No,
you don't
she
watch it when you're a
rewatched
kid-
it and she didn't like it. And I was
Oh.
like, "What is wrong
Well,
with
that's
you?"
weird.
But that's
strange.
that's another that's another thing.
Yeah, so like the only places it lost like a tiny bit of points was just story plot, just because it's a great plot. It's just not
Mhm.
like up
There's
there, you know?
some holes a little
And-
bit, or some
Well, yeah,
too
of
much
course.
simplicity. I would say, like,
Of course,
but it was a kids movie, so I didn't blame
yeah,
it. But
exactly.
I feel
And
like if it was
lost
done
a
again today, it probably
Mhm.
would have been deeper, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I made it lose like a tiny bit of points just because it was based off of like Hamlet.
Oh,
Like I don't know, in my opinion, it's like if you want to get a really perfect 10, you got to come up with something super
that's true.
original. And it lost a tiny bit of points in visuals just because it's just nothing. Like I said, I wouldn't give a perfect score unless they brought
Mhm.
something new. But it definitely like notable moments like the "I just can't wait to be king" scene with the colors and just like the contrast between like the light and the dark and
It is a
But,
great
like,
movie.
it's just always gonna be that iconic movie. Like everyone knows the soundtrack, everyone knows the plot. Like, and I'm not just saying because everyone knows it, it's the best. Like
Mhm.
it's just out of animated movies, like none of them really made an impact like that, and it's
Yeah.
always gonna be a part of our culture. Maybe have a little bit of bias to it because actually this is super random, but my
Mhm.
parents' first date was to go watch The Lion King
Shut up! That's so cute.
Yeah. in theaters. I'm pretty sure.
Aw,
So I feel like it's just always been a part of my life.
that's
and it's just
adorable.
anytime-
Wow.
Yeah, and anytime, like, not even talking animated movies, just movies in general, it's always going to be on my list.
Yeah.
Just because it's, like, it's just so good. It's just
I
so
see.
great. Like, yeah.
It is very good.
And that's
It
my
is.
number one.
It is a good movie. Wow, I
Mhm.
love our list. It's gonna be so hard to come up with.
It's going to be really hard. Well, maybe we can go over some honorable mentions.
Yes,
'cause
we
even
can.
the honorable mentions was hard. Like,
I know you can
like
tell
I
me
said,
your
so
honorable
many-
mentions.
yeah, so
I
many
bet
of
you
my movies had the
Ratatouille's
same
in there,
score.
right?
Of course it is. Of
Okay.
course it is.
Yes.
It was
I
so
thought
painful not to put Ratatouille in my top
know,
5
I
just
really
because I
thought it
love
was
that
gonna
movie
be
so
it.
much. But when I broke it down into the categories,
Yeah.
it didn't score as
Couldn't-
high, and
yeah,
I had to be objective. So
Mhm.
my honorable mentions are, I also gave them little like award like participation awards.
Oh,
You
that's
know
so
what I mean?
cute.
So for
Okay,
best
I'm gonna come
Disney
up with them
princess
right now.
movie, yeah,
Yes.
for best Disney princess movie, I gave it to Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
Kind of similar reasons as Lion King. It's like always just on my list
Mhm.
for my favorites. The like. I know you're not going to agree with this, but the live action like rehashed my love for the movie.
Mm.
And
I mean, I think it did for a lot
of
of people, but it's because they didn't like the live action. That's why.
Well, no, it made me like it even more. So the songs are, I love the songs in Beauty and the Beast personally. Like, they're just amazing. That's best Disney princess movie. This one was, I had to like reach for an award for this one because I didn't really know what to award it for. But my other honorable mention was Coco. Coco, just for like I gave it like best Pixar soundtrack, which is super like random,
but that's could be correct. It's the only one that's a musical.
Name another Pixar movie that has that kind of soundtrack. I don't know. And like best like storyline, just from like the authenticity of the, the culture and that kind of thing. I said Ratatouille already. I gave it for like the best nostalgic point, just because that was my favorite movie growing up, and it'll always have a special place in my heart. So I'm at number 3. Number 4, my fourth honorable mention is Zootopia, and I gave it sleeper hit just because I feel like not a lot of people talk about it as much. Yeah. Even though it is a great movie and it got a lot of buzz, but I feel like it's not really always in the conversation of like best animated movies.
No, I agree. Yeah.
And I do think it's a really great movie. And then finally, this one doesn't have an award, but my 5th honorable mention is The Incredibles. Just like that one was actually in my top 5.
It should have been.
I had to kick it out.
It should have been the award like the most like anticipated sequel, I would say, other than.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But like,
I think they didn't disappoint with the sequel.
The longest awaited sequel, you could say that. People were like waiting on that for sure. Yeah.
But no, The Incredibles is really good. The action scenes were really, I feel like it was more mature as a movie. Than other Pixar movies. So I had to include it in there. Like I said, the Beauty and the Beast was in my top 5 and I had to kick it out, and The Incredibles was in my top 5 and I had to kick it out. So my honorable mention, I'm gonna try to make up awards because that's really cool. So I can't just name them. I have to give them something.
Yeah, these honorable mentions are not in order. It's just like
mine aren't in order.
No particular order. The best Disney princess movie for me is Princess and the Frog. That's what I put. Even though Tangled, I know other people would be.
I shouldn't have added that. But.
Yeah, other people would be like, "Isn't Tangled?" Yeah, whatever. But I feel like this one it's more of a classic princess little thing. It's 2D animation, so it's very homage to the old. So it's the best retro one.
It's an homage to the Disney Renaissance
and
era,
it's literally the movie I needed when I was growing up award. Are you kidding? Come on now.
Yeah.
I put Wreck-It Ralph for surprising tearjerker. Like, I didn't expect to cry in this movie, but they really came for my neck. Wreck-It Ralph.
I watched it for the first time with like children. Like, I had to I was with kids and I had to watch it. Show it to them. So
no, I felt like that movie almost had a Pixar flair, as in taking something, an inanimate object or something, and making you feel so like strongly towards it. Like, I was like, what
is Wreck-It Ralph Disney or is it not Disney?
It's Disney.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, if that's not Disney, that's
weird.
But yeah,
but it's almost disguising.
Yeah,
as
well, there's like a running
movie.
theme in Pixar movies where it's like, what if blank had feelings? You know?
Yes,
that's like every Pixar movie ever. Where it's like, what if toys had feelings? What if rats had feelings? What if feelings had feelings? You know?
Yes. What if fish? Like, they just go everywhere.
Wreck-It Ralph makes sense. It's like, what if video game characters had feelings? You know? Even though it's not Pixar.
So I feel like it was disguised. Right. I have the Lego Movie as most innovative.
I guess.
I don't know what.
I guess. Because
innovative.
I watched Lego Movie as research for this podcast. And I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't finish it either, but I was just like,
oh my goodness, I knew you.
I just found it kind of I just found it kind of ridiculous.
Redonkulous, you are.
The dialogue was thought really dumb. I don't know. Like, I hate calling it dumb, but it was just like, I felt like they were dumbing everything down because they're like, oh, this is a kids movie, you have to make it for kids, and then they just made the dialogue super dumbed down.
If you got to the twist, it would have made sense,
I guess.
But whatever.
But I just knew from the beginning, I'm like, I know this is not going to be in my favorites. Like, I was like, you know.
No, but it's the most innovative. I feel like them animating those little Legos.
I was going to say, the visuals were pretty cool, though.
Crazy. I thought the whole concept of I think like people don't really talk about how being special is actually really important to people. Like, they don't really, like, most people actually,
I felt like personally attacked
existential crisis are like, you're not anything special, you're just a normal person. And that's probably most people's fear, honestly. Like, they're like, what?
Like, when he was saying like, love that. Like, oh, what's your favorite thing? And he's like, this. It's like, what's your favorite food? Anything. And then like, well, you're not special. I was like, oh.
Exactly. And it was like, you're like everyone else. And I was like, what? came from my neck. Okay.
Exactly.
I have Tarzan as honestly, this is a bad award, but my sexual awakening.
No, I get
that is my award for that. And I have Toy Story 3 as the universal tearjerker. I know like grown men who cried in that movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that movie just it is, and I think it is the best sequel ever. I think. Yeah.
I was really surprised at Toy Story 4.
Best sequel animated movie. Oh, Toy Story 4. I do think Toy Story 4 was the second best sequel because Toy Story 3 is the best sequel. And Toy Story 3 was among one of the only animated movies to ever be nominated for Best Picture.
That's true.
Period at the Oscars.
Beauty and the Beast too.
Yes,
Up,
it was. It was. Up was too.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. I feel like at the time, it made sense.
Obviously now it wouldn't.
I wish they could like remake the animated and like add some scenes, because like I feel like before it was too expensive to like continue a movie, but that movie needed to be like 2 hours, bro. Like every other movie
it's just
now
my favorite
is
like classic princess movie. I think it's one of the best.
Yeah. Those are my honorable mentions.
Wow.
I just feel bad though. There's still some that I feel
there's
bad
so
about,
many.
like Kung Fu Panda, like I love that movie. Why isn't it here?
Oh, I love Kung Fu Panda. See, there's so many that like I think of and I'm like, oh, what about this one? Oh, what about this one?
I know. Honestly, guys, this is the hardest because I believe that that's why I love animated movies so much. I think their plots and their stories, 80% of animated movies are good. Like 80%.
Like, I can't think of any
gladly
like bad
say that.
ones.
No, like there's only maybe 2 or 3. And like no one talks about those. They get buried. That's it.
Exactly.
Versus like real movies, like there's so many trash ones. So many. And I'm like, why don't they just talk to the people who make animated movies? Like, that's how I feel.
Like link up.
Literally.
Think of some stuff.
Like how to make a movie 101. Animated people have figured it out. Clearly you guys have not. Like
that's
why
they're always trying to make live action this, live action that, because they don't have any ideas.
They don't. And like I feel that also animated movies are among the only genre of movies that are still making original stories. Like I feel like everything else is just recycling. These are the ones that are like, no, we're gonna make innovative new ideas. It's probably why they can't release them as often as they want to.
Oh yeah, well it takes a long time.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of work.
But it's a lot of work and the stories are amazing, but like it's just I cannot. I'm passionate about animation.
No, literally I'm just thinking of like new ones in my head where it's like I watched Coraline yesterday, which was good. Like the visuals really cool. I love like stop motion. I think stop motion looks really amazing.
It is dope.
Like just there's so many layers, you know?
Exactly. It's just so good. And the
stuff like
animated
The
movies are among the most
Christmas.
rewatchable. Oh yes.
That kind of thing.
Very good. Okay, guys, we're gonna transition into making the flick chick picks of. Wait, is that right?
I don't know.
The Flick Chicks top picks.
Chip. I don't know. I said chip.
Flick Chicks picks
for animated movies.
Of best animated movies. Yeah. Okay. So basically, we're going to be looking at the 5 movies that we named. We're also allowed to pull from each other's honorable mentions. Anything we've mentioned so far is allowed to be pulled to be put in the top 5. This is going to be the hardest thing.
I was going to say, because we only have one common one, which is Spider-Verse.
Yes, it literally is. Okay, so let's go with number 5. So you have Shrek 2 as number 5, and I have Spider-Verse as number 5.
I think Spider-Verse can go number 5.
I think so too, because I don't think you would argue Shrek 2 is better than the movies that you've named before, right? Yeah. So number 5 is Spider-Verse. Congratulations. Woo! Come get your award. There's nothing to come get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it gets hard.
So Shrek is out of the running, and so is Spider-Verse because it already got its score. Okay, so now we have my number 4, Zootopia. Your number 3 is... my number 4 is Zootopia.
My number 4 was also Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. And then... Okay, so I'll tell you. My number 3 is Coco. Your number 3 is Your Name. My number 4 is Zootopia. I think Your Name is better than the 2 movies that I have as number 3 and number 4. I will just say
I agree.
Straight up. I think
better than Zootopia and what's number 3 again?
And Coco.
Yeah, I think Your Name just edges them out a bit.
Yeah, I do think it is. So I would keep Your Name as number 3. That's what
oh really?
I would. Is it or
put it as number 4?
Number
for
4,
now, I think, because there's a lot of other good ones up there.
You're right. That's what I meant.
So I think Your Name can be number 4.
Yeah, bye Zootopia and Coco. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, love you, sweeties, but
I'm sorry.
I think also you have to factor in that both of those were not in my top 5 either.
Yes, that's correct.
So
okay, now we have number 2s and number 1s against each other. I can't do this
for number 3. Like they're fighting for number 3, right?
Yes.
So I have Inside Out and Lion King left.
Yes, and I have How to Train Your Dragon and Tangled left.
I think Inside Out needs to be on there.
Monica, I feel like if you put Inside Out on there, I don't think Lion King can make it.
I'm okay with that, I think.
Because critically, I don't think it can beat... Like, I think critically Inside Out has a better complex plot. Does that make sense? Right?
That makes sense.
And I can't see Lion King being higher than that. Like, I can... Yeah.
Whoa, hold on a minute. Never mind. I just searched up I wanted to search up the score, like the tomato score for the Lion King. I just put Lion King and it got 53%, and I was like, huh? But that's for the live action.
Yeah, of course.
Ooh, I was like, there's no way in hell.
I think it's like a 90.
I think it's over 90. Like let me just check. Hold on. Oh, no.
Or 94. That's my bet. 94.
No, 94 was the year it was released. Oh, it has 93.
Oh, I'm close.
So anyways.
What was Tangled? Ugh, I know they kind of...
I love Tangled, but I don't think it should be in the top 5 of all time. Best movies of all time. I don't think so.
Girl.
You're kicking out, what did we kick out? Like, okay, I didn't even like Zootopia that much, but you're kicking out Zootopia to keep Tangled. Come on.
I think so.
I don't know.
Because what is wrong with Tangled? What's wrong?
Oh, absolutely nothing. But I think if you're looking at it objectively.
But objectively, I think it's only low scores, which you disagree with, is soundtrack. And maybe, what did I put the lowest? Visuals, I put it pretty high because they had to invent an entire new software just for her hair. So
I guess I would put it a bit lower for characters, though. I love the characters. I love Flynn.
It's true.
But that's about it. You know what I mean? Rapunzel's fine. But everyone else is kind of meh. You know?
So you want to put, in your ideal world...
I would put Inside Out number 3.
Number 3 is Inside Out.
I will agree that, like, How to Train Your Dragon can be number 2.
And then what do you put at number 1? Lion King?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, wait. Where am I going with this?
Okay, yeah, because that's what
I'm trying to see. Okay, how about this? How about Tangled number 3, Inside Out number 2, Dragon number 1?
Yeah, I can... Ooh.
I'm still not happy with that, but like that's the only compromise
I know. I see what you're saying. I agree with number 1, number 2, right? Which is your Inside Out is number 2. Mm-hmm. Is that what you just said? Or you said Inside Out is number 3? No, I think Inside Out should be number 3, and I think maybe I'll put Lion King where Tangled should be in my heart. But you know, like I think we could do Inside Out number 3,
Lion King number 2, Dragon.
Yeah. Just the biggest thing is that I feel like my dilemma is that Lion King loses a lot of points to me in terms of like, I guess plot is what we said, right?
But it only lost a tiny bit of points, but
it's the one among the most rewatchable.
It is. And the soundtrack. I mean,
but I think Inside Out isn't among
That's why
the most
Inside Out to me number 3. Lion King number 2.
And then How to Train Your Dragon number 1. Oh my gosh, this hurts.
It hurts. I know. Just remember, just because it's not on the ranking does not mean it's not a good movie.
I know. I can't do this. Okay, 3 Inside Out. I need to pray on this for a second.
Oh, How to Train Your Dragon has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. See, that's why I don't mind.
Because
that's what I'm saying. And I liked it when I watched it. I need to rewatch it.
And it's the first movie to showcase an amputee as a main character. He loses his leg. So
amputee. I don't know why I heard the letter MPT. I was like, huh?
Oh, amputee.
He loses his legs?
A disabled person? Yeah.
Why do I not remember that?
He loses from the knee down, but like that's.
I remember that now.
Mhm. And they're both like now they're really meant for each other because.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I'm okay.
I guess I'm putting the Lion King as. I don't agree, but we're putting it there. I think I'm doing it for the culture.
I was gonna say, think of the culture. Think of the soundtrack. like, yeah, the culture. That's what I was gonna say again.
I'm doing it for the culture. I'm doing it for the culture. Y'all are making me do this. I can't believe. It's animated though. Animated movies doesn't mean it's the best movies. Period.
Yeah.
It just means,
and it doesn't mean other movies are bad.
yes.
Okay, so
It still hurts. Okay,
you
so
wanna read out
officially,
our finalized list.
yes, we have Spider-Verse as number 5,
Mm-hmm.
Your Name as number 4,
Mm-hmm.
Inside Out as number 3. Ooh, number 2 is The Lion King, and number 1 is How to Train Your Dragon. I swear, if you woke me up tomorrow morning, I would switch all these around again.
Yeah,
I would be like, I don't know, just Your
this
Name on
is our
top of
compromised
Inside
list.
Out.
What?
That's the only thing that's bothering me, actually.
Your Name instead, like, switch those.
Because Your Name really impressed me, like
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm. I
But
mean, on my scoring, I like in terms of like score only, Inside Out scored higher than Your Name.
Did
for
it?
me. That's
Mine would probably, Your Name would probably,
because of the characters. I think because of the characters.
You're right. No, let's keep Inside Out where it is, because
Yeah.
the only thing I think Your Name would miss for me is I feel like they should have spent more time on them, their personalities. Does that make sense? Like them being as characters.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they only lost it a little bit of points for characters and rewatchability.
Yeah, you're correct. Okay, we're keeping it.
Did we? Okay, go from the beginning. Read the whole list again.
Yes. So we have most of your movies are on here, just so you know. But I don't know. I would take out some of these. I can't do this. Oh, it hurts
Whatever.
it hurts me. It hurts me. I'm not gonna dwell. I'm not gonna dwell. Okay. Number 5, Spider-Verse. Number 4, Your Name. Number 3, Inside Out. Number 2, The Lion King. Number 1, How to Train Your Freaking Dragon. That is the order we have.
That is
Wow.
our flick chicks.
Wow. Wow.
Sticks mix.
It's scary, guys. It's actually scary.
No, this was really hard. Like I'm so indecisive too. Like I'm surprised I even came up with the ranking.
It still hurts me to this day. I can't. I'm gonna have to sleep. I don't know. This is gonna take a toll on me. Like I'm gonna think about this.
So yeah. So I want to give a special shout out though to a couple movies that I didn't really like watch per se, but that I've like heard good things about. I guess like I've heard a lot of good things about like Studio Ghibli movies. Ghibli. Stuff like Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes, I did watch Spirited Away.
Because I did ask a couple of people. I'm like, okay, what do you guys think is your? Because I needed some
Same.
inspiration. So I asked a couple people like, what are your favorite movies? And I got a lot of responses of like Studio Ghibli movies. They've never really hit me.
No,
I think
same.
I've watched. I watched the first half of Spirited Away. And I've seen like clips here and there. Oh, I'm also there's like My Neighbor Totoro. That one. Those I will give it for the culture, but I did read a review that made a lot of sense to me. That was like, it's hard to get into those type of movies, but once you're in, like you're in, you know. And I feel like I'm just not in yet.
Yeah, no, it's
because they have like a certain style that like I feel like it's very, it's very niche and like you have
Spirited Away. I watched that movie. That movie is, I don't know how to say this, is a lot. I think that's the best way to say. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's just like it's a lot.
lot.
And it's like
it's just a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the most like, you can't give this movie to everyone kind of movie. How do you say that? Not, like you said, it's niche.
When I was
it's not
looking, like when I was
distributable.
when I was researching, like it showed up in a lot.
Yeah,
of
it did.
lists for like best of all time, and I was like, maybe it's just me. Like I don't know. I feel like you have to be in that. You have to be in.
No, I would
You have to
definitely
just get
fight with
into
someone
it.
and be like, "Can you say it's better than How to Train Your Dragon?" I don't think so. That's how I would fight to the. I would fight to the
but
death.
I will appreciate their like Studio Ghibli's like style. It's just like really iconic.
No, they definitely have good imagination.
I know it's really nostalgic for a lot of people. I feel like if I watched it as a kid, I would like it.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe that's why. Because I know a lot of people love it because it's like nostalgic to them.
Oh, I'm looking at this list.
But,
it still hurts me. I can't. It's just.
I know, and also I have to give like a shout out to like all the stop motion
Yeah.
movies.
Box Trolls.
Those like are super
freaking Chicken Run.
Yeah, and Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh yes,
like,
that. Fantastic
I think
Mr.
that's from the
Fox.
same studios, Coraline.
Yeah, Coraline too.
Yeah, I heard Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I never
good,
watched
but
that
it's
one,
just
to be
not
honest.
Really my
Yeah.
thing. Me neither. It's Wes Anderson, so it's really interesting because he doesn't really do animated movies, but
every time he's done it, he's been praised for
movies,
it.
man.
So maybe he's got it right.
Maybe one day I'll watch it.
I think though, what I like about our list is it's diverse in terms of studios. We have Spider-Verse, which is Sony, which is great for them because after Emoji Movie, no one thought they would do well.
Jesus
I'd
Christ,
never watched that movie, but I just know. And then,
oh my god, I think I watched it once with children.
And then Your Name, which I'm not familiar with the studio to be honest, but
honestly,
but it's an anime studio.
It's not Ghibli,
yeah,
but it's also a foreign language movie, which I'm glad made the cut.
Inside Out is a Pixar movie. 2, The Lion King is Disney, and then How to Train Your Dragon is DreamWorks. Yeah,
so we really hit all the boxes. That was not
basically every single category. So it's pretty wild. Wow. Dang. Guys, I'm so like tired. Like I feel like I need to nap now. Like this is how.
No, like I'm not even lying when I say I did extensive research for this.
I just can't. I've never rewatched or like had so much homework as in watching that many movies before.
I watched Coraline. I watched some of the Lego Movie. I watched
I rewatched the whole Lego Movie.
I watched Spirited Away.
I watched Spirited Away.
I watched some of Your Name.
I rewatched some of Spider-Verse, and that's how it crept its way back into my heart. I really forgot, and then because I was like, oh, it was good because I saw it in theaters, but I was like, I saw it in theaters too, and it was really good in theaters. You need to get with it, and I came back. To life. All right. Yeah. So
wow,
guys, we hope you love this episode as much as we did. I
hope you have also some opinion. If you have any opinions, let us know. Anime, feel free to.
If you want to fight me on discussing Frozen 2, I will gladly.
It's funny. I was talking to someone the other day about how Monsters Inc. was trash.
What?
And I was like, yeah.
You said that?
I don't like Monsters Inc.
Whoa.
No, I forgot. I think the other person said it, and then I was like,
bruh, no. Saying it's trash is a big word. It's not.
No, it was okay. It was dramatic, but it's just
I just think it's not. But no, because like Monsters Inc. you could say is simple. That's what I would say. Like it's a very much.
I think it's another one of those movies where you have to. Yeah,
it's a kids. It's very much a kids movie. Like it's not. Yeah,
if you don't like it, as
but
a kid,
Frozen 2 tried to tell itself that it's an adult movie, and it's really not. It's like you ugly little movie. I can't with that movie. Anyways, ugly. Anyways, no, let's not. I'll get carried away. I'm still shook that Tangled is not on this list. Wow. You know what though?
I was surprised it was on your list.
Really, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like facts. I just think
I think
it's amazing.
But I didn't expect.
And I'm really sad it didn't win the Oscar. It was up against the hardest movies though. So that year
that makes sense. 2010 was
I'm pretty sure How to Train Your Dragon was on that list too. So maybe let me not say that. But Toy Story 3 ended up winning, which I get it. Makes sense.
Oh yeah, because it was nominated for Best Picture.
But yeah, so this was our podcast on
we hope you enjoyed
Best Animated Features. Also,
make sure to
no. What? Go ahead. I was just gonna say.
Wait.
Okay, I was just gonna say. Did y'all notice anything different about this podcast? No.
I hope not, or else we.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't, that's good because we're practicing social distancing, baby. Mm-hmm. It's Rona season, and we're taking the appropriate measures to, stay safe. Okay, so we're recording in separate locations. Yeah, separate secret locations. Our houses.
Yep.
And
remote locations.
Yeah. Exactly. And we're
my bedroom.
Mm-hmm, and my bedroom too. So we're staying safe, and we hope you guys are too. We hope you're staying safe by listening to this podcast.
I was going to say, if you have nothing to do, this is the perfect time to listen to our podcast. Go binge watch all our episodes.
I have to binge them all. Also, do we even know what our next episode is next week? I have no idea.
Anyway, so we hope you enjoy. Go follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
Flick Chicks Pod.
Do all that. Love us. Subscribe. follow us,
share it with your friends who also have nothing to do.
Yeah, give us a review, man.
I will say this every episode.
Yeah.
Oh, give us a review. I will say this every episode. Everyone loves movies. Just share it with people. You never know who likes to talk. Everyone says they don't like to talk about movies until you bring up one of your movie opinions that contradicts theirs, and then everyone loves talking about movies. So
because they think we're trying to talk about film like with the detail. I mean, we do that too, but like that's not. We're not experts, so we're not gonna act like we are. No, our next podcast is roasting movies by the fire. I think it'll be good though.
I think it'll be good too. Weird. I've been meaning to review this, and I think a lot of people will be interested to hear the review because it's not everyone has seen it.
So I think it would be good. We're gonna do it. Don't even worry.
All right.
And then the week after that is the versus.
Yeah, that's
which we'll probably still do. It'll be fun. Whatever. Okay, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of the Flick Chicks squad. That's what our 2 fans are named.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Flick Chickers.
Flick Chickers. Ew.
I don't know.
Flickers.
Ew.
Oh my goodness.
I don't like that. Anyways.
Nope. They're all terrible.
All right. We'll catch you guys later.
Okay. Bye.